Imagine this. You live in a world that tells you to push harder, work longer, move faster, fight for every inch, chase every goal with tension in your chest and fire in your veins. You are told that success belongs to the exhausted, that only those who burn themselves out will ever become anything. But what if that is not true? What if the ancient Stoics discovered something far more powerful? What if the real path to receiving what you desire is not frantic force, but deep inner steadiness? Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome, wrote these words to himself. Confine yourself to the present. He understood something most people still miss. When you stop fighting life at every moment and begin moving with it, something changes. The struggle softens, the mind clears, and what once felt distant begins to move toward you. The Stoics were not passive people. They were not dreamers sitting still and hoping. They were disciplined men who understood the difference between force and wisdom. Think of water. Water does not argue with the rock. It does not panic when something stands in its way. It does not break itself trying to prove its power. It flows around the obstacle, over it, through it, and over time it reshapes the landscape itself. This is the power of calm intention. This is the strength of relaxed focus. This is what happens when you hold your desires with trust instead of desperation. Because the tighter you grip, the more resistance you create. The more anxious you become, the more you block what you want. The more you fear that life will not deliver, the more your energy begins to push blessings away. The Stoics understood this deeply. Desperation clouds judgment. Neediness weakens action. Tension closes the hand that was meant to receive. But when you relax into your path, when you align yourself with the natural rhythm of life, you become different. You become clear. You become open. You become magnetic. You begin noticing chances that were always there, but invisible to your anxious mind. You begin attracting the right people, the right timing, the right ideas, and the right doors. Not through force, through inner order. This is not about laziness. It is not about giving up. It is not about pretending effort does not matter. It is about learning the difference between peaceful action and exhausting struggle. It is about learning how to plant the seed, water the soil, and trust what cannot be rushed. The Stoics had a phrase for this spirit: amor fati, love your fate. Not because every moment feels easy, but because every moment, whether pleasant or painful, can be used in your favor. Today, I want to share with you 10 Stoic principles that can change the way you approach desire, effort, timing, and peace. These are not empty ideas. They are not shallow quotes. They are tested truths. Each one can help you release the tension that has been blocking your path. Each one can help you step out of struggle and into alignment. Each one can help you become the kind of person who no longer chases life in panic, but receives it with strength. And before we go deeper, take a moment. If this message already speaks to something inside you, leave a like on this video. Write this in the comments. When I relax, life flows to me. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe, because this path of wisdom is one we walk together. Now let us begin. Number 1. The art of detached desire. This is one of the great paradoxes of life. The more desperately you want something, the more it seems to move away from you. You chase harder, you think more about it, you attach more meaning to it, and somehow the very thing you want begins to feel even farther out of reach. The Stoics understood why. Epictetus taught that true wealth is not found in having many possessions, but in having few wants. This does not mean you should stop dreaming. It does not mean ambition is wrong. It means there is a difference between wanting something and needing it in order to feel whole. When desire becomes need, peace disappears. And when peace disappears, your judgment becomes weak. Need creates desperation. Desperation creates pressure. Pressure creates resistance. But when you want something while remaining inwardly steady without it, your energy changes. You stop pushing. You stop begging. You stop radiating lack. And that is when you become powerful. Think of the people who seem to attract opportunities with ease. They are rarely the most frantic. They are rarely the ones speaking endlessly about what they do not have. They are often the calmest people in the room. They hold desire lightly. They move toward what they want, but their identity does not collapse if it takes time. They do not tie their worth to the outcome. The Stoics called this a kind of preferred indifference. You may prefer success. You may prefer love. You may prefer abundance. But your peace must not depend on them. The moment your peace depends on an outcome, the outcome begins to control you. And when you are controlled by what you seek, you cannot approach it with wisdom. Detached desire is not apathy. It is disciplined trust. It is saying, I will act, I will prepare, I will pursue what matters, but I will not destroy my peace while waiting. This changes everything. You begin making decisions from clarity rather than fear. You become less reactive, more patient, more grounded, and from that place, your actions become stronger. So hold your desire in your mind right now. Then say this quietly to yourself. This or something better. Feel what happens when pressure leaves the body. Feel how space opens. Feel how trust returns. That is not weakness. That is power without panic. If this truth speaks to you, write this in the comments. I desire with peace, not desperation. Number 2, present moment magnetism. Most people live almost nowhere except the one place where their power actually exists, the present moment. Their body is here, but their mind is somewhere else, in the future, in the past, in some imagined conversation, in some fear that has not happened, in some regret that cannot be changed. And because of this, they miss life. They miss the clues. They miss the timing. They miss the opportunities hidden inside ordinary moments. Seneca wrote that true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. This is not just wisdom, it is practical strength. When your awareness is fully here, your senses sharpen, your intuition becomes clearer, your nervous system settles, your attention stops leaking into fantasy and fear, and in that state, you notice what anxious people miss. You hear the passing comment that contains your next opportunity. You feel the small inner nudge that tells you to act. You sense the open door before it closes. Presence is not only awareness, it is energy. When you are fully present, you are no longer carrying yesterday's heaviness or tomorrow's tension. You become available to life, and availability is magnetic. Think of the most grounded person you know, the one who makes others feel calm, the one who listens fully, the one who does not seem rushed, scattered, or pulled apart. That presence has force. People trust it. Opportunities find it. Peace grows in it. And here is the irony. When you stop obsessing over the future, you often create a better one, because all wise action begins now. All clear thought begins now. All real power begins now. The present is not a waiting room. It is the place where creation happens. So each time your mind drifts into what if, come back. Take one breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the sounds around you. Notice the light. Notice your body. Notice that life is happening here. This is not just mindfulness. It is alignment. And alignment changes what you attract. Number 3, the wisdom of accepted resistance. Life will place obstacles in your path. This is not a sign that something has gone wrong. It is part of the path itself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is one of the deepest Stoic truths. Most people see resistance and assume life is against them. They meet delay, rejection, failure, or uncertainty, and immediately collapse into frustration. But the Stoic sees resistance differently, not as punishment, as training, not as proof of failure, as preparation. The obstacle may be shaping you into someone stronger than your comfort ever could. Think about how often pain has matured you more than ease, how often difficulty revealed strength you did not know you had, how often the closed door forced you toward a better one. Resistance is not always there to stop you. Sometimes it is there to refine you. When you stop arguing with reality, your energy returns. You stop wasting yourself on emotional resistance. You stop saying this should not be happening. And instead you begin asking, how can this serve me? What is this teaching me? Who is this shaping me into? This shift is powerful, because the moment you stop resenting the obstacle, you can start using it. You become more flexible, more creative, more resilient. You stop reacting like a victim and begin responding like a builder. This is not passivity, it is intelligent strength. Like water, you do not always need to smash through what stands before you. Sometimes you move around it. Sometimes you wait. Sometimes you adapt. But you keep moving. So the next time something does not go according to plan, pause. Do not rush to label it as bad. Do not assume the delay is defeat. Ask instead, how is this making me ready? How is this protecting me? How is this redirecting me? Sometimes the obstacle is the path. Sometimes the resistance is the gift. Write this if you are ready to grow through difficulty. I grow stronger through resistance, not weaker. Number 4, the power of inner authority. One of the biggest reasons people feel blocked in life is because they have surrendered their inner world to outer conditions. Their peace depends on how others treat them. Their confidence depends on results. Their mood depends on money, praise, timing, and approval. And because of that, they live as prisoners of circumstance. Epictetus taught that people are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. That truth changes everything. It means your power does not begin when life becomes easy. It begins when you stop allowing life to decide who you are. Every time you say, I cannot be at peace until this happens, you hand your power away. Every time you say, I will feel worthy once they notice me, you place your value in someone else's hands. This is exhausting, and it weakens your ability to receive anything with steadiness. Inner authority means reclaiming the throne of your own mind. It means choosing your values before the world chooses your mood. It means remembering that your state is not meant to rise and fall with every event around you. This does not mean you become emotionless. It means you become rooted. When your worth comes from within, you stop chasing external proof. When your peace comes from within, you stop bargaining with life. When your authority comes from within, you stop shrinking to fit the moment. And from there, your actions become stronger. You speak more honestly. You move with more certainty. You take cleaner risks. You become less needy and more whole. And that kind of energy is deeply attractive. So before you check the world tomorrow, check yourself. Before the opinions, before the numbers, before the noise. Ask, how do I choose to stand today? What kind of mind will I bring into this day? What will I refuse to hand away? Because when the inner world becomes stable, the outer world begins to respond differently. Write this in the comments if you feel it. I am the author of my own experience. Number 5, the art of strategic non-action. In a culture addicted to movement, stillness looks like weakness. People believe that constant action means progress, that busyness means seriousness. that if they are not doing more, they must be falling behind. But much of what people call action is not wisdom. It is anxiety in motion. The Stoic understands that not every moment is meant for force. Not every problem is solved by more effort. Not every goal comes closer because you keep pushing. Sometimes the strongest move is restraint. Sometimes the next step is to stop interfering. Strategic non-action is not laziness. It is not avoidance. It is not giving up. It is knowing when you have done your part and when the rest requires patience. Think of a farmer. He can prepare the ground, plant the seed, water the soil, protect the field. But he cannot scream at the seed and force it to grow faster. There comes a moment when wisdom means waiting. This is what many people cannot tolerate, not because waiting is hard, but because it exposes how little control they truly have. And yet, the one who can wait with trust has a strength many never develop. Strategic non-action means learning to pause when action would come from fear. It means refusing to clutter your path with frantic movement. It means making room for timing, intuition, and life itself. Sometimes your constant interference blocks the very thing trying to arrive. So this week, practice patience with intelligence. Ask yourself, am I acting from clarity or from fear? Am I moving because it is time or because silence makes me uncomfortable? Have I done enough for now? Sometimes the answer will be to move, and sometimes the answer will be to wait without panic. That kind of restraint is not weakness, it is mastery. Number 6, gratitude as a force of attraction. Most people treat gratitude like a small habit, a polite gesture, a positive thought before sleep. But the Stoics understood that gratitude changes perception, and perception changes experience. Marcus Aurelius had every reason to complain. He ruled during war, plague, betrayal, and stress that most people cannot imagine. And yet again and again, he turned his mind toward what was still good, still useful, still possible. That is Stoic gratitude, not fake positivity, not denial, but disciplined appreciation. Gratitude does not mean pretending life is perfect. It means refusing to become blind to what still remains. When you focus only on what is missing, you train your mind into scarcity. When you notice what is already here, you train your mind into abundance. And this matters. Because the mind that sees abundance acts differently. It takes better risks. It speaks differently. It expects possibility instead of defeat. Gratitude lifts your energy without making you naive. It softens fear without making you passive. It reminds you that even now, in this imperfect moment, life has given you something. A breath, a lesson, a body that still carries you, a mind that can still choose, a chance to begin again. And when you deeply appreciate what already exists, you stop sending out the energy of emptiness. You begin moving like someone who has enough to build from. And that changes what you attract. So do not only feel gratitude, express it, speak it, write it, show it, thank the people who matter. Notice the ordinary gifts, respect the quiet blessings you once ignored. Because gratitude turns what you have into ground you can grow from. And growth begins with recognizing what is already alive. Number 7, emotional sovereignty. Most people live at the mercy of their emotions. If the day goes well, they feel powerful. If something goes wrong, they collapse. If someone praises them, they rise. If someone rejects them, they fall. This is not freedom. This is dependence. Seneca taught that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality, and much of that suffering comes from allowing emotion to become command. Emotions are real, but they are not rulers. They are signals. They are messengers. They are movements of energy passing through the mind and body. But most people do not treat emotions as messages. They treat them as orders. Anger says strike, so they strike. Fear says stop, so they stop. Sadness says surrender, so they surrender. Emotional sovereignty means feeling fully without obeying blindly. It means you can experience anger without becoming destructive. You can experience fear without becoming paralyzed. You can experience sadness without abandoning yourself. This is power. Because the person who can remain conscious inside emotion becomes difficult to shake, and the person who cannot be easily shaken begins to shape reality differently. Your emotional state affects your perception, your decisions, your presence, and your relationships. It affects the way you speak, the way you wait, the way you move, and the way others feel around you. So mastery here matters. The next time a strong emotion rises, pause before you act. Ask, what is this feeling trying to show me? What story is feeding it? What would strength do with this energy? Do not suppress. Do not explode. Witness. Learn. Choose. Because your emotions may visit you, but they do not get to rule you. Write this if you are stepping into that power. My emotions exist, but they do not control me. Number 8. The philosophy of enough. We live in a world built on dissatisfaction. It teaches you that peace will come later, that worth will come later, that joy will come after one more achievement, one more purchase, one more level, one more sign of approval. But the Stoics saw through this trap. Seneca wrote that it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. This is not an attack on ambition. It is a warning against endless hunger. Because if nothing is ever enough, then no achievement will free you. No success will satisfy you. No external gain will calm the restless mind. The philosophy of enough is about inner richness. It is the ability to say, I can still grow, I can still build, I can still desire more, but I refuse to live as if what I have today is worthless. This changes the entire energy of your life. When you feel inwardly poor, you chase from emptiness. When you feel inwardly full, you move from strength. And strength attracts differently than lack. The person who feels enough is no longer begging life to complete them. They are building from wholeness. They are creating from sufficiency. They are receiving from peace. This is not complacency. It is stability. Take inventory tonight, not of what is missing, of what is present, the lessons you have survived, the skills you have built, the people who still stand with you, the doors still open, the breath still in your chest. Feel it, not as a mental exercise, as reality. You are richer than your fear admits. You have more than your dissatisfaction allows you to see. And from that realization, life begins to open in a new way. Number 9. The courage of authentic expression. One of the greatest blocks in life is pretending to want what others want, pretending to believe what others believe, pretending to be fine when your soul feels distant, pretending to be someone the world approves of while your real self grows silent. Marcus Aurelius warned himself not to become distracted by what others say or do. That matters deeply, because when your life is built around performance, your energy becomes divided. Part of you is living, another part is acting, and divided energy weakens everything. Authentic expression is not reckless honesty. It is not cruelty. It is not self-indulgence. It is the quiet courage to live in truth, to speak clearly, to choose what genuinely matters to you, to stop shaping your life around applause. Why is this so powerful? Because what is meant for you can only fully find you when you are fully there. The right people cannot meet the real you if you are always hidden. The right opportunities cannot align with your nature if you keep betraying it. The right life cannot be built through a false self. Authenticity clears the path. It reveals what fits and what does not. It draws in what resonates and pushes out what only survives through pretending. Yes, this takes courage. Some people will misunderstand you. Some paths will fall away. Some versions of success will stop appealing to you. But this is not loss. It is refinement. So today, practice one act of honesty. Speak one truth you normally hide. Make one choice based on alignment instead of approval. Notice what happens to your energy when you stop performing and start standing. Your real life begins where the mask ends. Number 10. Trust in divine timing. This may be the hardest principle of all, because the human mind wants control. It wants certainty. It wants answers now. It wants results on command. But life does not move according to panic. The Stoics believed that existence has an order beyond our limited understanding, that events unfold inside a larger intelligence, whether or not we can see it. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we must accept the things to which fate binds us, not in defeat, in wisdom. Trusting timing does not mean doing nothing. It means doing your part without trying to control every outcome. It means acting with discipline while surrendering with grace. Most suffering around desire comes not from the desire itself, but from demanding that it arrive on your schedule. And when it does not, the mind becomes bitter. But what if the delay is not denial? What if it is preparation? Look back on your own life. Probably very few. Most blessings entered through surprise, through detours, through moments you did not plan. This is why trust matters, because impatience creates friction, and friction blinds you. Trust softens the grip. It allows you to remain open. Your path is already unfolding. Your work is to align with it. So if this message found you at the right moment, let it stay with you. Leave a like on this video. Share it with someone who needs this reminder. And in the comments, write this: I relax, I trust, and I receive. Subscribe for more Stoic wisdom each week. Until next time, stay grounded, stay disciplined, and stay open to what life is bringing you.